When he entered, women and children come running to him, crying because they were afraid to be killed. They were afraid. They were hungry. They would come to him crying. Imagine that, children and women. So Lubaba, he felt something, and they were asking him what Muhammad is gonna do to us. They didn't know, and Abu Lubaba said straight away that
they're gonna kill you.
They're gonna kill you. And that shocked me, because children, women crying.
No, because Muslims say we're not allowed to kill women and children. We don't kill women and children.
Bullets, that lie. I've got hadith if I show you Muhammad allowed to kill children. Anyway, there's hadith in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, both of them.
Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, so Sahih Hadith.
There is one hadith.
Yeah.
Bukhari and Muslim agreed by hadith. That means that's authentic.
Hassan
is the most authentic hadith.
Most authentic.
If Bukhari and Muslim agree about one hadith,
then there's nothing else.
It's like Quran.
It's like Quran. Okay, got you.
You can dispute.
All right.
So, and Abu Bakr left them, and he felt sorry. I didn't understand why. And he went to that mosque, and he stayed next to the pillar. And he didn't want to move. And I said, why? He didn't say anything. But what he did, I understood that after. He betrayed Muhammad. He told them what Muhammad is going to do to them. He felt sorry, like he betrayed God. I said, no, come on. So Muhammad has already decided to kill them. Muhammad already decided to kill them.
Yeah.
So
and why was he attacking them?
He wanted to take, for me, what I understand, he had a lot of problem with Jewish, they didn't believe him. And
so if they don't believe him...
he wanted to take everything because they were rich.
So he's just, if I say convert to Islam, you say, no, I can invade.
He wanted to take what they own.
Yeah, he's just invading, right?
Yeah, he wanted to take what they own,
Because Muslims always say that we never invade, we're only doing self-defense, because they're invading us. They betrayed us. In Khaybar they say, you know why they attacked Khaybar, they say? Because Khaybar had a treaty that they were going to fight with them, but then when the war came, they didn't fight with them, so they broke the treaty, and then the Muslims attacked them.
He had the treaty with Quraysh in purpose to invade Khaybar. Because what happened after the treaty with Quraysh? 20 days after he invaded Khaybar. 20 days, if you calculate the time he went to Medina, and from Medina to Khaybar is 20 days. So Muhammad, he calculated that exactly. It's clever, it's no stupid.
But then why do they say that the Khaybar made a mistake of breaking the treaty with Muhammad?
They didn't break any treaty.
But they say that's why they attacked him.
Anyway, Muslims can't say anything. They can't find excuses.
So they can lie.
Yeah.
In Islam, it's okay to lie. Yeah.
And in that story, so they sent. After that, they sent Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Sa'd ibn Mu'ad. And Sa'd ibn Mu'ad, he was injured. He was dying. The guy was dying. And actually, he died just after that, straight away. So they said, we take the judgment of Abdullah ibn Mu'ad. And Abdullah ibn Mu'ad, he said, okay, we kill their children, we kill their men, and we take their women and children as slaves. And Muhammad said, yeah, that's the judgment of God.
That's the judgment of God. Oh.
So he agreed to him.
So judgment of God didn't come through Muhammad, it came through him. Because he suggested it.
Abdullah bin Mu'ad.
Because Allah told Abdullah bin Mu'ad to do this, and then Muhammad agreed with him.
Yeah. So
wahi doesn't come to Muhammad, it comes to his... Wallahi. Okay, that's crazy.
Where are you from?
Don't worry about it. I never, because over here, I'd like to be anonymous.
Doesn't matter.
So, let me say something. So this was one of the reasons why you left Islam, right?
Yeah, because one of the reasons. One of the reasons. There's so many stories. It takes you time to leave Islam. It took me about 6 months. It's like I don't know how do your brain work. It's quite mystery.
No, takes a long time because as a child, you were taught something in your head. Now you got to clear it out. It can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years sometimes to get over the fact that this is absolutely false.
Yeah, because it's try to deny things. You read something. No, it's not.
It's manipulating. You're manipulated all the time. If you don't believe it, you're a kafir. You know what I mean? You don't ask questions. If you ask questions, you're a kafir. Everything you're a kafir. What does that mean? Like, why can't you ask any questions about Islam?
Yeah,
so you just fell out of Islam because of
on that story when he start killing them 10 by 10 and
10 by 10.
Yeah, he take them like a group of 10,
kill them,
chop their head.
Wow.
Chop their head straight away. He had two of his men, Ali and another one is called Ali ibn Abi Talib is famous, he become Khalifa. And another one is Zubayr ibn Awam. Even Ali said he was tired of chopping
their heads.
He said it himself.
Oh wow, okay.
So there was a woman there, was next to Aisha. Aisha was there.
Oh,
she
Aisha
was like
there.
14 years at that time.
Wow, okay.
There was a woman there and she was laughing and laughing and laughing. And Aisha was surprised. She asked her, why are you laughing? Because what happened, when they besieged, she killed the man with the rock. She threw a rock on one of his men and she killed him. So Muhammad decided to kill her.
Oh, wow.
So Aisha knows she was going to be killed. But that woman, she was laughing and laughing like crazy. And Aisha was surprised. She asked her, why are you laughing? They're going to kill you. And she said, yeah, I know. And they called her by name. She said, that's me. And she went and chopped her head. And that shocked me. I said, why?
No, but he also had one old woman tear in two. Remember?
That's different. That's not. That's before.
Before, yeah, because the old woman, she was making fun of him.
It's not him. It's adopted son, Zayd ibn.
Oh, okay. He did that to her.
He did to her.
So because of all these atrocities, like.
And they were killing children from this. They were uncovering them if they grow hair.
Yeah.
And I know. I used to be young when I started growing hair.
You weren't a man.
I was younger than 12.
Yeah.
Because I remember I didn't like it and shaved it.
Yeah.
Because it shocked me. I don't want. So I was young at that time, so it shocked me.
Let me ask you one more question, because right now you said you left it. So what did you become? What did you do after you left it? You became what?
I didn't believe in anything.
You were an atheist.
Completely atheist.
Completely atheist.
I didn't believe in anything. I mean, everything become to me a lie.
Because if you've been lied this much, then how can you trust anything else?
I mean, I had a problem. I had depression, anxiety. I even thought about suicide once.
Wow.
No,
that's very serious.
Because
very serious.
I mean, because it's like you were asleep and someone slapped you and you wake up.
I mean, that's the whole life is a deception.
Deception, yeah.
The God of deception. Okay.
If I was young, probably it would be better.
So are you still an atheist then?
I'm studying Christianity at the moment.
You're studying Christianity. Do you have any?
I go to church, Christianity.
You go to church?
And I'm reading the Bible.
You're reading the Bible?
I'm reading Matthew at the moment.
Yeah. I would suggest start with John, actually.
Yeah, I see a lot of stealing from Matthew to Islam.
There's a lot of stealing. Islam is nothing but stealing from everybody.
I like the story of Jesus, his companion. Big difference between him and Muhammad's companion. They are just killers. Khalid bin Walid, especially Khalid bin Walid, a bloody killer. So I see big difference.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing is that Jesus is giving his life for the sins of others. He wasn't dying for himself. Oh, they said, why would he have to die or something? He said, nobody takes my life, I give it. Because nobody can take it. If he wants to defend himself, he could. Like Muhammad, he was always trying to conquer. Jesus never did that because that was not his plan. His plan was to come and be the Lamb of God. Remember the story of Abraham where he had the lamb, right? Because all the stories in the Old Testament is about Jesus, because it's talking about this coming Messiah, right? Because if man could save himself, then Jesus wouldn't have to die on the cross, because they already have the law, right? The law is from Moses. right? The Moses law. If Jesus came and died for your sin, that means that he's fulfilling the law for in your place. Like if you had a speeding ticket, you go to court, you have no money. But I come and say, okay, judge, I'm going to pay his fine, and I pay for it. And judge says, okay, go. You're guilty, but you can go because somebody has paid your fine, right? And that's what Jesus did for us. Do you understand? But now they say, oh, that means you can sin. No, because he said sin. Because we are. Do you think that you lived in Islamic country? Have you seen corruption and people? It's like the word. That's why all the Muslims are here.
One time, one guy at work is an English guy.
Yeah.
And he asked me that question because many Algerians work in that company where I work. And he asked me, he said, you're different, you don't lie too much. But I work with many Algerians and they lie, Muslim Algerians, they lie. And I told him, I don't know, probably that coach. He said, there is things, they don't have to lie. And
so
they
that
lie
means you have a
it.
conscience.
So I said, and it shocked me. I said, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's true.
I know. I work with a lot of Muslims, so I know. And they don't trust each other too.
I know.
That's why they're here, is because Muslim countries are so corrupt. So what I'm saying is, like, if Jesus says, like, through me you're saved, then Christians will say, okay, I'm saved, I'm going to go and sin now, right? That's what Muslims accuse Christians of. Oh, you just want to be lazy, you don't want to do all the work. You say Jesus saved you, so you can go and sin. If that was the case, then all the Christian countries should be corrupt and bad, and the Muslim countries should be good because they're doing all the good stuff. We're doing all the bad stuff. What Jesus is preaching is that they asked the Jews were always asking him this question because Jews are very close to Islam, because Islam says, follow the law and that will save you, and Jews say the same thing, right? So when Jesus came and he started saying, forgive your enemies and do this and that, they're like, you're teaching something different. What's going on? And you're a rabbi, because they know him from childhood, he was a rabbi. But he started teaching other stuff, and they're like, how can you do that? So they keep asking him questions. They asked him one time, what's the biggest commandment? Right? Do you know this story? Have you heard this?
Biggest commandment?
What's the biggest commandment? There's 10 commandments?
Yeah.
So what is the biggest commandment? They asked Jesus. Do you know what he said? What was the biggest commandment?
No.
He said the biggest commandment is to love your God with all your mind, with all your heart, with all your strength, and to love your neighbor just as yourself. Okay. And this fulfills all the laws, he said. Do you understand? In this one law, it fulfills all the laws. Because God in the Bible is a God of love. He didn't send Jesus to condemn the world. To condemn the world was the law. That means that nobody fulfilled the law. If you cannot fulfill the law, you do not deserve God's presence, meaning heaven. To go to heaven, you have to be sinless. Just God is sinless, right? How do you become sinless? You and I, we cannot become sinless. We are sinners. How are we going to go to heaven? We need somebody who is himself sinless, and he's willing to give his sinlessness on us.
There's one thing I always, when I was young, when I was 20, I was studying university, I always ask myself a question. After that, I forget about that question, and I keep praying. And one of the things I was asking, why Muslim, when they die, they're always afraid?
Because they're going to get punished.
Because my grandmother died, and she was too old, and she was perfect. I mean, for her husband, for God, but she was afraid of dying. Even she was so old. I think she was 90 years. And it shocked me. Why? We're supposed to be Muslim. We're supposed to want God promised us the heaven. And when I look at the Christian, when they die, it's calm. No fear. Family is okay. I mean, of course, they feel that.
What happens in the grave? You know what happens in the grave, right?
Yeah, that's one of the things. You get punished in the grave, and you get why they punish in your grave, and you get punished for small things in your grave.
Yeah.
Things doesn't make sense.
No, half of the time the punishment is for not peeing properly.
Yeah.
Can you believe Muhammad is obsessed with peeing?
You're obsessed with everything.
Why?
You're obsessed with sex. You're obsessed.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of prophet of God is obsessed with this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
What kind of God is this?
So that's one of the things that always shocked me. And there's another thing. There was famous scholar is dead now. Is Egyptian, was Qaradawi. Qaradawi is the leader of Islamic ulama, but he died now, I think a few months ago. And I used to follow him a lot. And he was one of the Brotherhood as well when he started.
Oh, okay.
After that, he left the Brotherhood and become a big scholar and He used to live in Qatar and, before he died. Egyptian. And yeah. One day I was listening to him on TV and he was talking about the Christian who go, all time they go to South America, go, very difficult places to spread
the word, yeah.
And yeah, he said these people, even they doing good things, of course they're doing good things, but they're gonna be in hellfire.
They cannot be okay.
And I said, why? They're doing good things. They're not gaining anything from life. Probably he knows he's not gonna come back. He's gonna die there.
But that actually there's a hadith or in the Quran it says the Jews, Christians, and Sabians have nothing to fear if they have the belief and do the right thing. Then how can they say that?
Yeah.
How can you go to Jahannam then?
But there is in the Quran, if you come to God, not believing in Islam, that's it. You go to hellfire.
But then why you say that Christian and Jews and Sabians? You know who Sabians are?
You know what their excuse? They say he's talking about that before Islam, before Muhammad was sent.
No, but it doesn't say that. I mean, come on, man.
That's their excuse.
Oh, so you can make up anything in Islam, whatever you want to.
Whatever you want.
I see. Man, this
Whatever
is crazy.
you want.
So tell me what.
There's people now.
Yeah.
I used to follow. They completely changed how they explain the Quran, how they translate the Quran.
Yeah.
Completely different.
No, because I read the different translations. One says the meaning is this, one says the meaning is that, and they're put in words like the English translations are completely false. Doesn't have this. They don't translate. They do it intentionally.
I told one of the guys, one Muslim guy, I told him that Quran in English is one book. How come it's one book? It's supposed to be 10, 20 book.
Yeah.
Because translation Quran, they don't agree about one single word. Everyone.
How can they change it? Yeah. They change.
Not every single word. Like say half of it.
Yeah.
There is about 10 translation. 10 explanation. That's mean that. That's mean the other things. So how come your book is one book in English? It's supposed to be 10 or 20 books, man.
No, but let me ask you, what was the religion of Muhammad before he became 40 years old?
I believe his wife was Christian, definitely, Khadija.
And her uncle was Warqa bin Nawfal. Who said Muhammad was a prophet?
Warqa bin Nawfal.
So a Christian had, oh my God. And you know that Warqa bin Nawfal was a heretic.
And Aisha confirmed it. Not Aisha,
Khadija. But first she didn't know. She took him to uncle. When he said, he's a prophet, he saw the angel.
Yeah,
he didn't even know who he saw.
He didn't know,
Because whenever Jibreel comes, he comes and gives peace and say, be in peace, I am from God, I am Jibreel. Don't be afraid.
The problem was,
instead he squeezed him. Yeah. He scared the hell out of him. Why?
Since that's Hadith in Aisha, it's Sahih. Aisha said when Warqa bin Nawfal died,
he cried.
He stopped for 3 years.
Yeah, and he cried. He said, because he couldn't understand. Because
why?
that's why there's so many pro-Christian verses and about Mary. Because Warqa bin Nawfal was a Gnostic. All the Gnostic ideas are in the Quran because of Warqa bin Nawfal. I've been keep saying that to these people. They don't listen. Now, let me ask you one question because I know we've been going on for a while. Tell me about Christianity. Are you just thinking about it, or do you have any question you want to ask me?
I'm asking, of course, the pastor I'm with is Egyptian. I'm meeting. We meet every once a week, and he's answering my question.
No, I mean, like, if you have any question about Christianity, because
at that time, no.
You should read the Bible, and you should read the John and everything. I'm here. You can take my number if you want to meet us after.
I'll come here once.
No, you can actually meet us. We all go and hang out.
I like coming here, listening to the lies of Muslims. So
I know. But you see this group right here?
I enjoy it. So
you see these guys right here. This guy, these guys. We all go
I spoke
after.
to Bob once.
Yeah, and Bob also. We all get
I like
together
that.
afterwards, and you can come with us.
I,
And we go and have
I
a
go
tea
to
or
work,
coffee or
actually,
something.
early.
Huh? Oh, you have to
So
work.
from
Okay.
there, I go to
Well,
work.
you're welcome to join us, or
thank
you
you.
can get on our WhatsApp and ask any question, because there's a lot of they can talk to you on WhatsApp as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I would
like that.
definitely advise you to, because you're looking for the truth.
You know what they say. You say you learn nothing from life if you think you're right all the time. So I was Muslim. I thought I'm right all the time. So I didn't learn anything from life. But when I left Islam, my mind is open, and yeah, I'm just trying to
Because the
find
thing
truth.
is, this Islam is so bad that it makes a lot of Muslims that leave Islam, they become atheists. Because
I was, I think.
because the thing is, it just makes them think that God is a fraud. But that's really what Satan wants you to think.
Yeah.
Because God is
I
not
had
a
that-
fraud.
I had this-
Islamic God is a fraud.
When I was at it, I had a lot of weird things in my head, and I didn't like them. I didn't like them.
You could become suicidal. That's very serious.
No. That's after suicide. That's
okay.
after start having a lot of things. You know, when you're atheist, so you're allowed to do anything. The life doesn't. I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there's no
God,
morality
nothing,
without
no
without-
judgment. Nothing.
Yeah, of course,
So-
and that's meaningless.
So me and someone who kill or rape or do, so the same.
Yeah, but there is a lot of atheists that don't do that. So they
Yeah,
say,
I understand.
No, just
Just thought I had in my mind, but I said no. It's not. That's not me. So
of course, God exists. You have a soul. That's the problem with atheists. I mean, when I talk to some atheists, I say, "Do you have a soul?" And they're like, "What?" I say, "When you die, what makes you dead from being brain dead? If you you have a car accident."
The thing's
you
like,
brain-
yeah, when you do something, it's not. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I don't know. I will say exactly what. When you do something, you feel punishment from inside. You feel like
Yeah, you have a conscience.
You say, I should
It
have
comes
done
from
that.
it comes from
That's-
your heart.
that's
It
not
tells you-
right.
That's right. You don't want to kill a child, right?
Yeah, I
Because
found something on the street and I take it. I know that belonged to someone.
Yeah.
But I found it and
Yeah.
I took it. I said, I should have done that.
That
That's
shouldn't
belonged
have
to
done
someone. I should have gave it to to police or someone.
Someone.
So you feel something inside you. You know,
That's right. You don't want to do
Yeah.
that like that.
I don't want. I don't want to go back. I spoke to what's his name, Jordan. You see that guy, Jordan? And I had a chat with him about Bani Qurayza as well. Actually,
Okay.
he asked me why you left Islam, and I told him many stories. And I told him Bani Qurayza. I told him about his daughter Zainab. She didn't believe him as well. He had a daughter, younger daughter. And I told him why his younger daughter didn't believe him, and she died as Christian. She died as Christian.
Oh, really?
Because they put her in a coffin when she died.
Okay.
And only Christian they
Christians,
do that.
they do that.
And Muhammad he made big ceremony and they put her in a coffin. And even tafsir when they put Bekatir, they say she was the only one they put her in a coffin. No Arab don't do that. I mean a Muslim.
Yeah.
So I told him about that. I said, how come, why you killed the children of 12 years, 10 years? And you know why? He answered me. How do you know he's not a man? And I was shocked when he said that. And I know it was brainwashed. 10 years a man. 12 years is a man.
That's
I told him, okay, I agree with you. 12, 14 years at that time probably considered a man.
yeah.
So that guy who explained Sahih Bukhari, who tried to explain the Hadith, what does it mean exactly? He said, yeah, you're allowed to do that. That's his word.
That's his word. Okay.
And you can't disagree with this guy.
This guy,
He's
okay.
a famous scholar. It's
Famous
not like someone this time. He's a
Okay.
famous scholar. He had hundreds of books,
okay.
and these books they exist in. If you go to Azhar, in Egypt, the famous university, Islamic, where the most scholar come out, or in Saudi Arabia with the Halab.
Let me ask you something. Aren't you afraid that your family is going to disown you if they find out you're...
That's why I don't want to.
No, not on the camera, but they will eventually know that you're
I
not a
didn't tell
Muslim.
them. I didn't.
You didn't tell them.
I love my mother, so my aunt, my mother's. I don't want to shock them. She's old, too old, and for her, it's too late.
She doesn't
to
want to
know the
hear
truth.
this, yeah?
Why to know the truth now? It's too
What
late.
about your brothers and sisters?
That's the one I try to work on it. I've got one, my sister. She's in France now. Be careful. She's in France now, and I started, try to get words and words.
Did you show her any of the videos? You know who's good to watch?
I'll tell you what I told her.
What?
Because she went to France, she had the offer of job in France.
Yeah.
And I told her, that's 2 days ago. I told her, listen, I'm going to tell you something, you're more probably going to be shocked. She doesn't wear hijab. She doesn't wear hijab. She not convinced hijab, but she's Muslim, praying, fasting. And I told her, you're going to meet many Algerian there, Muslim women, Algerian. And they're going to try to convince you to wear hijab. Don't do it. Because hijab actually doesn't exist in Islam. It's something was created in 1940 or before that by Wahhabi in Saudi Arabia and Brotherhood in Egypt. These two, they started the hijab. Before that, there was no hijab. Doesn't exist hijab.
So the Quran doesn't say. Doesn't the Quran say you have to cover up?
I will send a picture in 1940 before in Azhar, where they start the biggest scholar, biggest place. Women studying inside the Azhar, not wearing any hijab.
Oh wow!
And the biggest scholar at that time, a Muslim scholar, at that time, he's got a picture of him, his wife, his daughter,
without hijab.
Without hijab. And I said that. You see that, and you see now, hijab didn't exist. And there's this famous story, a very funny story. The leader of, I heard it a long time ago, but I've got video. It's still a video now on YouTube. The leader of Brotherhood of Egypt started in 1942, something like that. And his name Hassan Banna, like I said. He told the president of Egypt at that time, and you know who's the president? It's the president of Egypt at that time, Jamal Abdel Nasser.
Abdel Nasser, 60s, 50s. So sorry, in the 50s and 60s. Yeah.
You know what he told him?
What?
He went to Jamal Abdel Nasser and told him, we have to impose hijab on women in Egypt.
Yeah.
So Jamal Abdel Nasser, he answered. He was in the press. There's a video, and he told him, Jamal Abdel Nasser told him, but your wife and your sister, your daughter, they don't wear hijab. Why do you impose the hijab on other women?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a
wow.
funny thing.
That is a funny one. That's a great one, man. I'm really intrigued because you're.
I'll find it if you want. It's in Arabic anyway.
But it's very difficult to leave Islam because I can see right now your family issues. You have your sister.
It's just love for my family. That's all. It's not like.
Do you have a wife or girlfriend?
No, I used to have, but she left me because I told her Islam is no.
She was a Muslim.
She was Muslim, but she
doesn't. So you lost your girlfriend because of Islam too?
But she was. I thought she was a strict Muslim. Like she
drinks. She still lives. She drinks.
She drinks.
But then she's a Muslim.
She prays once a week.
Once a week, and she's a Muslim. And then she leaves you because you criticize Islam.
I tried to convince her Muhammad wasn't prophet.
Yeah, but that's crazy. She should. What kind of woman? Where was she from?
From Iran, Sunni. It's not Shia. She was
Sunni Iran. I didn't know that.
They moved to Pakistan, and she moved here alone, living and working.
Really? Oh man, that's crazy for her to do that, man.
I don't know.
But she must.
I tried.
And these people really love their prophet, huh? Because she would leave you. You're a very nice guy. She would leave you for this guy who is a murderer, rapist guy that she's following.
It's brainwashed.
So crazy.
I thought it gonna be easy because she's not really. She doesn't wear hijab.
Yeah.
She drink. I didn't drink.
No, get her drunk and then tell her Muhammad, he got Khadija's father drunk. Do you know this story? When he married her.
Yeah.
He got her drunk.
Yeah, it's true story.
Yeah, so say it's okay if I get you drunk and tell you. Also, Muhammad did the same thing. I mean, that's crazy, man. It's really nice talking to you.
Thank you.
It really makes my day because over here I have like nothing but all day long with the Muslims. It's the same thing.
I watch a lot of your
all
videos.
the same stupid stuff, but I do it because of people
like
you.
the one Somali guy. What's his name?
Oh my God, that guy's. No, I don't even want to do it anymore. Yeah, I try to find people I can talk to, but the thing is,
you want to jihad?
I do it for people like you because they're watching, and I get comments and people coming like this here, and that's what keeps me going. Because I know there are people watching, not because of these guys. They're not going to change their mind, not in front of all the other Muslims.
The problem that all all what they know about Islam is from that movie. If you tell me the history of Muhammad from Mecca to Medina and until he died, he bring you why he saw in the movie. And that movie, 80% of it is false. I tell you one thing, funny thing in that movie.
Yeah.
And you can ask any Muslim. When Muhammad migrated from Mecca to Medina, after he spent 13 years in Mecca.
Yeah.
So after they didn't believe him, only 73 people or 72.
Yeah.
So he migrated to Medina,
which is a Jewish city.
Exactly. Him was Abu Bakr, and he was a guide with him. 3 people, and they had 3 camels. Because the journey to Medina take about 10 days, 8 days. He made it in 8 days, but actually 10 days to 12 days. So you need a lot of water, food. So Quraysh, they send a group to catch him, to kill him, whatever. So he hid inside the cave. Do you know that, Troy?
No, I don't know.
And the cave was the spider made the
web, yeah.
And there was a pigeon. So Quraysh, when they reached the cave and they saw the spider web and the pigeon was there, they said, it's impossible he's inside. So because, I mean, it's impossible. So they left. I will ask you a question, ask a Muslim question. He had 3 camels. Where did the camels go? In the movie, yeah? Where did he hide the 3 camels with all the food and the water? And it's funny.
Oh my God. All right, thank you, buddy. I'll see you around. Good to see you. All right. So Muslims are leaving Islam. This guy has found out the truth. And I will invite everybody to stop following this cult and start looking at the life of Muhammad. Like he said, Muslims should ask themselves, was Muhammad a true prophet? Because once they start looking in that, if he's a true prophet, they don't have any problem with that. Because if he's a true prophet, it will be fine. My buddy here, do you think Muhammad was a true prophet?
No, he was a pedophile.
He was a pedophile. Okay, cool. All right. So stay away from Islam. Jesus is Lord.